Hello, welcome everyone. Another art session. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I've been commissioned by one of the nurses in my doctor's office to create a piece for her using blue as my major color. And so I thought I would do it on a black canvas. This is a 20 by 20 gallery. And what I've done is I've just put down some Flutrol. I decided to actually use this instead of a base color, white, blue, whatever. I thought that this would just dry off and then the luster of those colors would come through. So I've done that already. I want to just torch out some bubbles. How's everyone doing this morning? Hopefully it's a beautiful day for everyone. It's almost the weekend. Is it? Oh no, not quite. I'm losing track of my days here. All right, so let me introduce you to a very relatively simple color palette this morning. I have some Art Me tallow blue that I'll be using, some mica powder bronze that I've pre-mixed, and some Pouring Masters Sunflower Yellow, Flutrol, and water. And I also added Tri-Art Liquid Glass, just a few drops in each of the paints. So I'm planning to just do a ring pour and then probably do a swipe with it as well. What I'll be doing in between each layer of color is to add some of the cloud mixture, which is basically, I put it in here, it's satin enamel with equal parts of paint and some Flutrol GAC 800, Liquitex, and a tad of water to get it to this consistency. I don't want to dally too long because this will dry rather quickly. So what I want to do first is actually layer out a cup for the pour, and we'll get going. All right, so I'll start off with the blue. Again, just layering it out, starting with the darker color first. Love doing just different types of pours, and I thought I would try the ring pour on this, and hopefully she likes her creation, and just introducing some other colors that I thought she might like, and I'm hoping it works out. So let's enjoy the process. So I've just begun layering blue, that beautiful copper bronze color. I've put the cloud in between, and I'll continue to do that. Focus so that my Flutrol base does not dry. it a bit. I want to work rather quickly. As I said, the Flutrol has a tendency to dry rather quickly. Thank you for joining me on my journey. Do hit that subscribe button, leaving comments. Those are always appreciated. Do is actually use a 3-section cup to introduce some more colors and go around the perimeter. And again, just thinking out of the box and trying to create something that's a little bit different. So let's get to it. Just gonna pour some of that blue in one section, adding some of that cloud mixture to it in between. Going for a lighter effect. All right, I'm going to add some of that cloud mixture around the outer part. I'm hoping it'll create some cloud effects. Doing this morning. Hopefully you're you're well, enjoying this beautiful weather, spring-like today. Yesterday was rather wet, dreary, but by evening it actually cleared up, and today it's just beautiful. A beautiful spring day. Cannot wait for the planting of flowers. Love those colors. What's happening in the center with that initial ring pour is that a lot of the blue that mingled with that bronze and some of that yellow is now has a mauve hint to it, or hue. It's really pretty. But again, I'll probably be swiping it out, and we'll see how it goes. So I've done my 3-section pour, again, just layered out, for example, the blue, and then I put some of that cloud mixture in between, and then blue again, that phthalo blue, which I love. It's so royal and regal. So I want to get down to business, as it were, and just go around the perimeter and create some pours, ring pour or ribbon pour. I think I want to tilt it a little bit. It sort of has this nucleus in the center, and then branching out with some beautiful irregular shaped rings. But I don't want to tilt too much of it off. So let's see how it goes. The outer part is really, really pretty. I'm really loving it. I'm noticing that the yellow and that green is now taking on a beautiful green luster. That bronze was a metallic, so it's showing through, and it's really, really pretty. All right. I do think I want to deconstruct it a little bit, so I am going to swipe in here and bring it to another level, and I'm hoping it works out. We'll see. Using just a palette knife, and I'm going to just drizzle some of the swiping medium, which is basically, I use pearlescent white paint. I love it, and I mixed it with Flutrol DAC 800, some of that Tri-Art glossy finish, and then some coconut oil. And I want to swipe through that center nucleus part, just to see if I can deconstruct it a little bit. Really hoping that I do not lose too much of what's going on the outer part of this nucleus. So let's see. go in here a little bit more. It will be a focal point, but then it draws you out to what's going on the outer part, on the sides, the perimeter. And I love how that cloud mixture is interplaying with the Flutrol and creating a very light, billowy effect. Looks really pretty. I'm really liking what's going on here. So I think if I just center, or if I leave this upper part, it'll just have a more or a better composition, a better flow. Loving the interplay of those colors. Tilt it a little more. She loves blue, but I know that she has this fondness for rose and pinks as well. So I think it works out, but I do think I do need to swipe it once again in that outer part. I love the lacing effect that's going on there. So let's see if I can carry it out a little bit more. I don't want to overdo it, which I tend to do sometimes. So let's see how this works out. I think I want to tilt it a little more. I did add a little bit more, and it's turning out to have more lacing effects here, and I really, really like it. I hope you leave your comments, your thoughts. Again, I don't want to overdo it and overstretch it, but I wasn't really liking the composition with the just that nucleus with the vibrancy of what was going on the outer part. But I do want to leave a lot of that blue for her. It has that beautiful focal point right here, and it's capturing all the other colors. I'm going to turn it just a little bit. I thank you so much for your support, my journey. Do hit that subscribe button, leaving your comments. Those are always so greatly appreciated. Just one final touch up of my corners and take you in for a close-up. You can see the beautiful lacing effects that are going on right here. And as it continues to dry, we'll get some more whimsy, light, cloud-like structures, and the colors will continue to peer through. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be good to one another and yourselves.